I haven't checked my mail for well over 2 hours and tried to check it. And then I received an email from eBay saying eBay events. And I felt it was kind of an interesting thing to talk about, just to find out how you guys are actually, treating this particular eBay event this year. I live in Germany, and sometimes I'm aware that eBay has this kind of local meetups. And this year already, they've had one in Dusseldorf, which was on the 13th of March. And the other one was in Hamburg, which happened on the 2nd of April. And right now, there's one coming up in Leipzig, and that's going to be on the 29th of April 2025. And yes, I have always been receiving these notifications from eBay, talking about the benefits of you attending events like this. And if you take a look at the banner right here, it says, why should you attend our event? First of all, it's obvious when you go to eBay event, you're going to be learning a lot, which is what this banner is also saying right here. You're going to be learning a lot of tips and tricks about selling on eBay. This is very good, especially when you are just starting out, trying to figure out how selling actually works on eBay. But my take on this is that if you kind of are serious about selling on eBay and you have really gone deep into this website, eBay, pretty much the platform itself is pretty much self-explanatory. If you want to list items, it's very easy. There are not so many tricks and tips around, posting your items on eBay. Of course, the basic tips: get good photos. Make sure your description is kind of, good enough as to tell the exact condition of the item you are selling, as well as try to get very good photos, different angles of photos. Try to get like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 photos of the item you are selling, because it gives the potential buyer, more perspective, more depth. Just taking a look at one photo sometimes is not enough. Another benefit that eBay is saying that you could get from going to such events is that you get to know each other. You see, networking in this game is very, very important. Sometimes you never can tell what category you will be selling. If you go to such events, you could be fortunate, to actually get to meet a wholesaler of a particular item. And if you are good with networking, you can actually walk up to these people and talk to them, tell them that you are a seller of this product, and if given the chance, you have the capacity to actually be, a good reseller of a particular product. You never can tell. This is just one aspect. Also, you could also get to meet people that are into warehousing, people that are into logistics. If you are looking for somebody to help you ship out your items, this is a very good place to actually get to meet people like this. I have not been there, but I'm just taking a look at this email, and I felt like, yes, why not highlight this? Perhaps one of these days, I'll be able to find time, to go there. But then the actual thing that caught my attention is one other benefit that eBay is proposing, that if you go for such events, you help to shape the marketplace. Of course, this is very, very important. See, the thing that tends to happen about eBay is this: whenever we have problems, we come onto YouTube and try to vent. I'm also guilty of this. We talk about things not working. We talk about the fact that promoted listings are not really showing our items. We talk about the fact that the searches are not really showing the items that have been listed. But then this is the best place, to channel our grievances to eBay. If we have problems, especially problems that borders on the platform, sometimes there's an update on eBay. We do not get this feedback that, guys, there's going to be a slow season of sale. We do not get kind of updates, but then things go south. Nobody is selling anything, and then we come here up to YouTube. We all kind of vent. eBay sales are down. Nothing is selling. Platform is dead. But then this kind of meetup is one of the best places. This is a place you can actually get direct replies from the eBay reps as to why this is so. If I am to go to this kind of meetup, I think the question I would like to ask eBay is that why is it that every time there's a major update on eBay, the platform from nowhere suddenly just stops recording sales, especially in my category. I'm not saying that this applies to everybody, but there's always a time in my category where things are just, kind of quiet. I sell desktop PCs, and sometimes from nowhere, even though you have, the best item listed, things just get so quiet. And when you dig deeper, you realize that eBay is doing something, or when the whole thing is done and sales returns back to normal, you go to your eBay seller cockpit and suddenly realize that eBay had made some changes in their user interface. Things are looking a little bit more different. And then you begin to ask yourself, must it be that whenever the platform is to implement a certain feature on their website, then sales just suddenly closes? This will be a question I would naturally want to ask, the eBay refs. Unfortunately, the next one is coming up in Leipzig, and if I were to go onto Google Map and just check how far Leipzig is from me, I'm not so sure. I was never there before. I live somewhere around Freising, and if I were to check, Leipzig is about, just give me 1 minute. You see, Leipzig is about 407 kilometers from me. That is pretty much a very, very long drive, even though I would have loved to go to this event. But when I consider all the things I have to do right now and consider traveling to Leipzig on the 29th of April, that might not really be feasible. And the next one is coming up in Wolfsburg, which is on the 3rd of July, 2025. But then if you scroll down, you see a banner that also says the eBay Open 2025 is back. In 2025, we'll be celebrating the Marketplace major networking event in Berlin together with many eBay sellers. This is going to be huge, and typically I tend to see a lot of resellers, visiting this kind of event. I think this year I would like to be part of this. I have a lot of time to actually prepare for this. It says when 25th September 2025. Yes, it's going to be in Berlin, and there's ample time to actually prepare for this. And this is one event I would like to go to. See, in my category where I sell, I have been selling since 2013. I have been selling with these guys that also sell used computers. Sometimes I take a look at a particular offer. I already can tell who the seller is. It's amazing because even though I've been selling with these guys for so long, I do not know them. I do not know how they look. I do not know what kind of personalities they have. This would have been a great place. If they are also going to be there, why not? Why not network with people that appear to be your competitors? Yes, we all call ourselves competitors, but at the end of the day, we are all partners in progress. Partners trying to bring quality computers. In the case of myself, where I sell used computers, trying to bring quality computers, quality monitors, quality laptops to the end users. This is what we do, and we are all actually working for a common cause. But sometimes you hear me talking about competitors. You have to be watching your competitors. You have to put an eye on what your competitor is doing. At the end of the day, we are not like enemies. We are supposed to be colleagues in this marketplace, and this networking event would just be one good place if they're also going to be coming around to get to know them, get to see them, get to even thank them, because I'm not going to lie, so many ideas I've implemented on my eBay shop, sometimes I also got from fellow sellers right there on the platform. So why not? It's a good time to actually get to know them, get to shake hands with them, and get to congratulate them, for surviving the eBay drought where things were not selling. But right now, I can pretty much tell you guys that things are more or less back to normal. So guys, let me know what you think. Have you actually attended one of these events? Will you be coming for the eBay Open 2025? It will be good to know. Go to the comment section, let me know about it, and let's get this conversation going. But honestly, I've actually watched some videos about this, eBay Open on YouTube, and it kind of feels like something that's going to be very, very interesting. Typically, all this while I have been selling on eBay, I have never been on any event. I've never been on any meetup. Here and there, once in a while, I tend to kind of chat resellers up on Facebook, on Instagram. But since this year, honestly, my networking has pretty gone down because first of all, I was very busy doing stuff, and now that things are a little bit less intensive, I feel like this is the best time to actually come back to these things. I preach a lot about you finding time to network with people, especially if you are a young reseller. If you are new to reselling, do not be shy to actually reach out to people, ask them for help whenever you are in doubt. This was something I didn't do when I was trying to figure out a lot of stuff, and I want to say that it kind of hurt me. And sometimes when I look back today, one of the biggest regrets I have was that when I was trying to figure out selling used computers and trying to force my way into this category, I never reached out to the big sellers to ask them certain questions. But also, to be honest, there was hardly anybody doing exactly what I was trying to do on eBay. I was trying to sell just computers, even though electronics, there were so many sellers of electronics here and there. But there was really nobody, just selling computers directly and putting it out there on YouTube. People were talking about how it was possible to buy computers and resell them just on the surface level. Nobody was actually, going into details, breaking things down, pulling up the computers, showing the figures. I just had to, do all these things myself. And this was one of the reasons I did open this YouTube channel, because I felt like there were already a lot of content creators making content around, selling used clothing, selling books, selling household items. But there was just nobody focused on computers, laptop, monitors, these very fragile items. Especially people wanted to know how to pack these items. If you wanted to see how to pack, a monitor, for example, the video that are there on YouTube are pretty much old videos, and nobody was doing it in real time. Nobody was actually selling computers in real time. And because of this, I said to myself, this would be a good opportunity to open this channel to also give my 2 cents back to the community, because when I was learning to sell on eBay, yes, I learned a lot. Opening the eBay account, learning to list items, getting aware of the various scams on eBay. I also learned a lot of these stuff from fellow resellers here on YouTube. And for my side, it will be also a great service to actually share my experience just through this YouTube channel, talking about the highs and the lows of you going out there, to sell used computers. So guys, let me know what you think. Are you guys going for this event? If you'll be part of the eBay Open 2025 in Berlin, it will be a great time to meet up. I'm definitely going to try to work towards this. It's still too early in the year to say definitely that I'll be there, but honestly, this is one event I wouldn't want to miss out on. I would like to be there this year, get to know you guys, get to see some of my fans, get to meet some of the people I look up to in the reselling community, and generally just get to network, with sellers on the platform on which I sell. Until I see you again in the next one, have a beautiful evening.